Alright folks, so today I am working on a dessert waffle, and I'm working with a new flour for keto that I am not familiar with. I've been trying to work with it all week. It is keto wheat baking flour by King Arthur, and I finally done some tweaking, and sorry for the mess. I have been experimenting all day trying to get something workable with this, so that is kind of why you see stuff everywhere. And I finally got it to come together a little while ago, so now I'm finally making a video about it. So I'm making a double batch here, so I've got two 1/4 cups of this King Arthur keto flour in my Pyrex measuring cup. So now I'm going to add an entire teaspoon of this here baking powder, because like I said, I'm making a double batch. I'm making some for me and my wife, so we're just going to get the right amount there you go. Whole teaspoon worth of baking powder, and it is a must-have working with this flour. At least it has been so far. Now this flour it's a little tricky to work with, but I think I can do something with it now. So the idea here is we're going to make something sort of like a cake. And this flour is very bitter in taste, so I'm going to sweeten it up with an entire tablespoonful of monk fruit sweetener. Like I said, this is just an experiment. This is a work in progress, but I have made a successful dessert using this. So I'm sharing it with you now. Alright, so now I'm just trying to get my thoughts together, figure out what I got to do next. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add 2 eggs, and I think I'm going to use normal regular chicken eggs. Yeah, 2 normal sized chicken eggs. Actually, I'm wrong. Sorry about that. I'm using 2 duck eggs here. You can use regular chicken eggs if that's what you have, but I have access to duck eggs, and duck eggs help make baked goods more rich and dense. So since I was going for a cake-like consistency, I opted for the duck eggs, but it's totally not necessary. You can use chicken eggs instead. Alright, so I got this Torani, and this is a s'mores flavor. I was going for to make the cake batter kind of like a s'mores taste, so I added some of that, and it actually helps with the sweetness of everything. So this stuff, you have to mix it with a spoon, at least with the wet ingredients that I have in here, and I'm just using a baking spoon, you know, one made for baking, a silicone baking spoon. And I'm going to mix all of this together very well, and it gets very thick. It's got a very thick consistency to it. And once we get all that incorporated together, I will add a little bit of cooking oil. Yeah, I do things on the dirty side, so I'm using just regular old vegetable oil because, you know, I think that's going to be fine for this application. And I'm only going to use 2 capfuls, you know. If it was a single batch, you know, just half the ingredients, I would just use 1 cap of oil, but I'm using 2 here because it helps with the non-stick process in the Dash Mini waffle maker. So I'm just going to add that in now. And that'll do it. Alright, so now I'm just going to stir on it some more, and it actually comes to a smooth batter, kind of like a cake batter, just only a tad bit thicker. And once I get it good and incorporated, all that oil in there, I'm just going to put it on the waffle maker and start making these s'mores cake chaffles. That's what I'm going to call them, s'mores cake chaffles, because it's got the s'mores flavor in it. And with that Torani, there's a multitude of different flavors you can experiment with. Alright, so see how thick this stuff is? It is thick. So you just got to kind of plait it down onto the waffle maker, and then plait out a little more, and then just kind of spread and pat at the same time to get it to spread out evenly across the entire thing. And you don't want to overdo it, because this batter will rise with that baking powder in there. It will rise, and it does not fall. I really like that about it. Just like this right here. Now, I did add a little too much, as you can see. There is some runoff there, but it's not going to be too much. It's going to be fine. I'm just going to wipe the runoff and keep with the process. But you see how high the waffle maker rose? And this is what it looks like when it's done. Look how thick that is. Oh my goodness, that is a thick waffle. I am really liking this King Arthur flour. I'm here to tell you what, there's a lot I can do with this. A lot I can do with it. I am enjoying how it bakes up. Way better than almond or coconut flour at this point. Alright, so I'm going to make 2 for me, and then I'm going to make my wife 2. So this right here will be mine, because at this point in the video she is still on her way home from work, and I'm going to make hers closer to the time she comes in the door, so she can eat it hot and fresh. Now, ideally, you know, for a cake, you want to let the cake cool before you put the icing and stuff on it, but I'm not waiting for that. I'm wanting the icing to be a little melty and runny. So I am going to put it on here while the cake waffle is still hot. I can't call this a chaffle because it has no cheese in it. This is an actual keto waffle here, folks. Keto cake waffle. And it is flavored like s'mores, so I figure, you know, a little bit of this Pillsbury sugar-free icing would go a long way for making a cream filling. Since I can't have marshmallow, but this is the closest thing I can have to marshmallow, so this is what we're going with. And plus, it's easy. It's already made. All I have to do is open a jar and spread it on there. Alright, so that is my second one. Look, again, the thickness of it. Man, I'm here to tell you what, with a big old thick hamburger patty, I could really do some damage with this with this batter. I'm here to tell you what, I am liking it. So I'm gonna put a little more cake icing on the top here, and then I'm gonna sprinkle on some of that monk fruit sugar on top, you know, and put a little more syrup on it. You know, like I said, this is just an experiment at this point, so I will be getting all this together better in the future now that I have figured out how to make the cake part of this batter. All right, so I'm here to tell you what, if you've never tried that sugar-free Pillsbury icing, that is some good stuff. I almost forgot to put the monk fruit on. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit because it's that golden monk fruit. Yeah, just for presentation to make it look good. It's really not necessary, but hey, what the heck, right? A little more sweetness won't hurt. Because even though it has a tablespoon of that monk fruit in it, it absorbs all that sweetness into the batter. So the sweeter, the better, and the icing really helps out with that. as well. So here we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness, folks, let me tell you what, this is going to eat very well. I can tell already. Look at that. Look at that. And I've made cakes with almond flour in the past where I had to 3-layer it just to get it as high as it sits on that plate now. With this, 2 layers is plenty. A 3rd layer, it would be almost to the ceiling. No, I'm just kidding. So there we go. There we go. That icing is melting because of the hotness of the waffle, the cake waffle, and it comes off just like a cake. I'm telling you what, look at that. This is a perfect cake batter, folks, and I believe I can tweak this and make me some bread-like chaffles out of this. But yeah, this is a huge steaming success right here, and man, I'm telling you what, look at that icing gushing out the back of that thing. Wow, I mean, look at it. Oh, it's just gushing out the front every time I put the fork in. Look at it, man. I'm here to tell you what, it's like a volcano eruption in there, and I cannot begin to tell you how delicious this was. Alright, folks, that is about all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my experiment making this s'mores cake waffle. If you like my content, please subscribe for more. Till tomorrow, y'all have a good one.